Rest is a strategy. You don't want to be a burned out direct seller in September, right? Summer is supposed to feel different. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Modern Direct Seller Podcast. I am your host, Becky Launder, and I am thrilled you are here today because this episode is all around how to sell smarter during the summer. Now, that feels a little bit like a tongue twister, but I am really excited to spend a little bit of time on this topic. Every year around this time, we kind of hit that June, July rut, we could call it, right? When things just seem to slow down and everyone wants to be everywhere else other than shopping and selling. So I'm going to give you some really practical advice on this episode to talk about how to best spend these summer months to really maximize your sales, keep your business going, especially since it's really, really important to build on that momentum during the summer because right around the corner is fall selling season. And we know that is the best time of the year for retail sales. But here's what's not the best time of the year. I felt like I needed to pull a little data here just to infuse this into our conversation. But the data is actually real, right? E-commerce shopping actually drops 30% in July and August. 30%. That's like kind of big time, right? Customers are distracted, you're distracted, kids are home. But what we do know is that the sellers that crush Q4 are not necessarily the ones that are grinding harder during the summer. They're actually the ones that are being strategic about their summer and leaning into meeting people where they're at. So today we are going to talk a little bit about how to sell smarter, not harder, and really get kind of that lead gen going for your business that's going to work for you, even when you're enjoying a day at the lake or at the pool or at the beach or whatever body of water you prefer. So let's get to it. So like I said, let's just normalize it, right? Summer sales are slower. It's not just you. It's not just your product. It's not just your company. It's across retail as a whole. It is normal that things are slower during the summer. We know the economy overall slows, discretionary spending actually gets pulled back, and people are traveling more, right? Like they've got more stuff going on. They're not in their normal mode of operation. So what I've seen happen during these summer months is direct sellers kind of pick one or two ways of going here. One is they kind of go totally dark, right? And I feel like we've seen this before, but when things get slow, everything feels just a little bit more clunky. And we hear direct sellers say all the time, like, I'll come back to this in September when things pick back up. So September hits, and then you're starting from ground zero, which is no fun. Your audience has forgotten about you. Momentum is gone. So it is important that we don't just totally go dark during the summer months. And then the other thing I see happen is that direct sellers are like grinding harder to overcome the season, right? They're thinking that their sales in June and July should be the same as what they were earlier in the year when they were stronger. But the reality is it's going to be a lot harder to get those same results. So posting more, messaging more, hustling harder is not the solution either. But when you're doing that, you're getting burnt out and August rolls around and, it's exhausting. You're exhausted. So we don't want that for you either. Not to mention it's summertime. We should be living our best life doing all of those things that you really want to do. So a slower buying season doesn't necessarily warrant a slower building season. So I'm going to tell you a little bit why. But summer is really that setup window. Summer is an opportunity for you to get the machine working for you. So when things actually do get really busy in the fall, it's a much more effortless process for you to get those sales coming in. So the real opportunity during the summer is that people are still buying. They might just be buying differently. Okay. So when we're thinking about how people like to shop during the summer, they're probably spending more time at outdoor markets, at vendor events or at pop-up shops or at farmers markets or community events. They have a little bit more space, a little bit more spacious during the summer. People are lingering. The days are longer, right? So if you've been thinking about trying some in-person activities, this would be a great time to lean into that, knowing that people are out and about. If you live in an area that attracts tourists, you may have an opportunity to reach people from all over that are visiting in your area. If you're going out on vacation and you can bring catalogs with you or product with you or samples with you, that's a great way to grow your reach and get in front of new people as well. The other thing here is that this is a great time of year to lean in to some of those seasonal products, right? So if you have gifts for Father's Day, that's right around the corner, graduations, which maybe have already passed for some of you, end of the year school gifts, hostess gifts, and then before you blink, it's going to be back to school season. So leading into that during the summer months is going to be a great place to play as well. And then I have to mention, because I work with a lot of companies, I also know that a lot of companies are offering specials during the summer. They may be offering double points on your incentive trip. They may be announcing an incentive trip or offering different rank bonuses or giving double points. All of that is an opportunity for you to double down on these incentives and reach some of those bonuses and promotions a bit easier. And if you're focused on that, I guarantee you're going to have a much more easy fall and be able to reach a lot of the same people for a second order or a third order in the fall. The other thing about summer is your company may have some new catalogs or new product releases that they're putting out there that are specific for summer. That is built-in energy for you to share, something new to talk about. So definitely ride out those summer product launches. Now, if you are a team builder, summer is the perfect time to showcase your business on the go. So whether you are building your business from an airport, a hotel room, a beach chair, whatever that might look like for you, this is a great opportunity for you to show that beautiful lifestyle you have created thanks to your business. So there's a little bit of a recruiting message in there. When it comes to, hey, I just closed a sale from my beach chair. People are like, hold up, wait, what? How did you do that? I want a piece of that. So show how this business goes with your life, not against it, right? Okay, so here's a couple other things during the summer that I think are really unique and a great opportunity for you. So while business may slow down, it also frees up a little bit of space for you to cross those things off your to-do list that you've been meaning to do. Get ahead of them and do them now, because I'm telling you, Q4 is not the time to figure out your systems. You want your systems locked in and rolling for you. So by the time fall hits and holiday shopping hits, those systems are truly working for you. So a couple of areas of focus to be thinking about, definitely leaning into AI. We have a podcast episode coming up with Jeremy. I believe it's next week, where we're going to talk all about that. Different tools that you can use in your business to work smarter, not harder. Here's the thing. Most of them take a little bit of heavy lifting on the front end to get set up and rolling and work for you. You're going to have to fine tune them a little bit. But if you do that now, by the time fall rolls around, you are in a great space. This is a great spot to be drafting content, practicing your follow-up messages, maybe drafting emails, subject lines, captions, brainstorming. So use this slower season to really build out that workflow for your content. I think if you work on it now during the summer and commit to it, by the fall, it's just going to be your normal work pattern. It's already going to be a habit in your business. Things are going to be flowing for you. It's going to be second nature. I know for many of you, email marketing is on your list. I've had lots of conversations lately about email marketing. So if you have a list, but you don't have a welcome sequence or you don't have a launch sequence, you're leaving money on the table. This is the time to go build that out. Build it this summer. What do you want every new subscriber to know about you and your business and your brand? The beauty of creating a sequence is in your email marketing system. You set it up once and you will let it run forever. How good does that feel, right? Maybe you also have on your to-do list to clean up your contacts. Maybe maybe you have a little bit of work to do in your CRM or your client relationship management system. This is a great time to make sure that all of your shoppers are in your CRM. It's a great time to tag them, organize them, segment them, identify people, and figure out where they're at in the buying journey. Are they just a lead? Were they a one-hit wonder that only shopped with you once that you need to nurture to come back? Is it a repeat customer or a host or a teammate? The more you can get ahead and organize those contacts, the easier it's going to be to communicate the right message to the right people when fall hits and things get busy. So I would really be thinking about some of that automation you can put in place, whether it's CRM, email marketing, AI. What can be running for you in the background while you're lounging by the pool, right? You've heard me talk about the C analogy before: scrappy, expanding, and automating. Now, we're never 100% automated in our business, but these are all of the different levers that you can pull to shift into a bit more automation and a bit less scrappy reactiveness, which we've all been there. That's happened for us before. But the better we can be at automation, the easier our business is going to flow and the more free time that we're going to have, not just during the summer months, but year around. All right, a little real talk. If your business lives on social media, you don't own it. Oh My High gives direct sellers a real website that's actually yours. Your links, your content, your personal brand, your email list. Not a replicated page that looks like everyone else's. We built it specifically for people just like you. There's no tech skills required. And as a podcast listener, get a free Capture and Convert homepage when you get started today. Visit the link in the show notes for the promo code or check it out over at ohmyhigh.com. Now, back to the episode. Okay, so let's talk about content strategy for the summer. I think this is a great time to really evaluate what is actually working for you. So we just did this inside our business. We did a complete revamp of our content strategy. There was a lot of things we had been doing just because we've been doing them forever. And we realized, okay, hold up. I think we need to change up our approach here. So we just went through this process. If it's been a minute since you've thought about what you're posting and where you're posting it, or what platforms you're posting on and what format you're posting on, this is a great time to do that. Open up your favorite AI tool and have a conversation about what you're doing right now and how to optimize that to work smarter, not harder, as you're rolling into the fall. If you can spend a dedicated day or half day on batch creating content for the summer here in June, that's probably going to carry you through even July and August. You could be recording reels, you could be writing your captions, you could be planning your posts, and do what's doable for you. So if that's, hey, I'm going to post 3 reels a week, post your 3 reels a week. It doesn't have to even be showing up every day. You can leave space for some of those things that are going to just pop up, like your company offers a deal, or there's a special that drops, or there's a personal moment that you want to share about on social. You can still leave space for those things. Showing up consistently online, this is a great time to really show off that you're out there, you're living your best life, and your content is working for you in the background. I also want to just encourage you, to give yourself permission to simplify summer. And if it feels like it's a lot, or if it feels like it's a heavy lift to get everything out there on social, maybe scale back a little bit, right? You don't have to completely stop, but maybe you tell yourself, okay, normally I'm posting 5 days a week. I'm going to take it down to 3 days a week during the summer. And then look and see what happens, right? After the next month or two, look and see what performed best and then lean into that. This is also a great time to repurpose your content. If you have great content that performed well the first half of the year, go grab that content and put it back out there. Nobody's going to even remember that you posted it before, right? The other thing that I would encourage you to do, and this is another shift we're making in our business, is we were doing a lot of live workshops the first half of the year. Well, as I'm shifting into summer, I have kids home. I have a really heavy travel schedule. And when I'm home, I just want to be home and off duty. So rather than running a lot of live virtual events, we're doing some pre-recorded on-demand events. So that's an option for you as well. Maybe you can pre-record a product demo or a how to order or a team training. Make that available so anyone can access it when they need it. And so you don't have to feel like you're on the clock all the time. Nobody wants that, right? And then the last piece that I just feel like I need to leave you with before we officially wrap up today is that it is a great time to slow down in order to speed up for fall, right? Like rest is actually a strategy. I can tell you firsthand, I was really wiped out earlier this week. And it takes a lot for me to just be like, okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm done. But I was able to clear my calendar for even just a half day. And I laid in bed. I watched a morning movie. And I got to tell you that I got out of bed at 1 p.m. that day to take a shower, do my hair, do my makeup, and shift into some business work in the afternoon. And I felt so incredibly refreshed. So if you feel like Maycember hit you hard and you've been going a million miles an hour, rest is a strategy. You don't want to be a burned out direct seller in September, right? Summer is supposed to feel different. So, that's your opportunity to take the trip and have a slow morning, take a half day and watch a movie, go for a walk, go to all your kids' activities. So it's not necessarily to stop completely, but it is okay to rest and refresh and enter the fall season feeling like you're ready to roll. Because we all know if you've been in business for at least a year, the fall season hits hard and you're going to want to feel rested and ready to go. So as we wrap up, just a little bit of a action item for you. I would decide what your minimum viable business is for the summer. So what are the 2 to 3 things that you really see as a non-negotiable that you're going to do no matter what happens during the summer, no matter if you're traveling, no matter if you're at the pool? What are a couple of those things that you got to be doing each and every day? If you're going to pick and choose, you guys know I'm going to always say you should be doing your ABCs. So the A is asking for a sale every day. The B is building a relationship with someone every day. And the C is creating some type of content every day. And if you can do those 3 things to keep that minimum viable business running and rolling through the slower summer months, then everything else that you get done, let's consider that a bonus. Right? Consider that a bonus. Before you know it, it's going to be towards the end of summer. You're going to be mapping out your fall strategy. You're going to be thinking about your Q4. You're going to be thinking about the type of events that you're doing and what you need, what your team needs, what goals you have. We have our virtual retreat coming up here in a couple of weeks, and we'll do another one as we're launching into the following quarter. But having a really clear 90-day plan of what we want to accomplish, and also just recognize it's a little bit of a slower season, and that's okay, right? That's okay. We can still be productive. We can still get things done. We can still feel rested and energized. If your company has a conference this summer, I hope you are going. I hope you are attending in person, but if not, definitely virtual. Being in that room is going to give you that adrenaline rush, that excitement factor, that motivation that's going to carry you through the fall season. You're going to come home feeling fired up and excited. I know I'm personally excited to see some of you at company conferences this summer, but going and being in that room and connecting and collaborating with others is like no other. So if you can make time to have a little workcation and make it to your company conference, that is going to make a world of difference. Now, before we go, I do have a free resource for you. If you loved this training, if you're thinking about summer, you're thinking about systems, but you're also working to plant those seeds so you really kind of hit the ground running in the fall, you've got to check out our new training all around 5 ways to get more leads in your business. Oftentimes we're focused on teammates or content or systems. This is how to get more visibility, how to get in front of more people, how to bring more people into your world. So it is a very quick video training that we have available to you on demand. All you have to do is head over to ohmyhigh.com and you can get your hands on that free training. It would be a great one to pop the AirPods in, go for a little walk around your neighborhood, maybe on the beach, maybe on the lake, maybe at the pool, but it's going to give you really concrete ideas of how to bring more leads into your business. even during the summer. It's going to be a great system for you to have running in the background. So definitely go take a peek at that. And with that said, I hope that your summer is off to an amazing start. I hope that you're feeling refreshed and excited and you're keeping that business afloat while also taking good care of yourself. Keep those sales rolling in, meet people where they're at, have some fun this summer. And also let's make some sales. So with that said, thanks so much for being here today. I look forward to connecting with all of you very, very soon. Let's get out there and make it a great day. Bye, everyone. This episode is sponsored by CinchShare. CinchShare is the #1 social media scheduler for direct sellers and loved by creators in any industry. It's truly your one-stop shop for all things social. Join hundreds of thousands of social sellers and entrepreneurs who turn to CinchShare for free social media training and resources. Get started today with your free 30-day trial at moderndirectseller.com/CinchShare.